Hi guys, it's me again. This time I want to talk to you a little bit about experience. Well, we've all got experience of something. We've got experience of everything. In fact, the whole of our lives is just experience. But in this case, I'm talking particularly about experience as a consumer, as a client, as a customer, and from the company side, how they deal with experience. The fact that actually we have experiences. Do we go to restaurants for a meal, or do we go to a restaurant to have an experience? Part of which may well be the taste of this beautifully cooked steak. Let's look at this for a bit. Now, what I've been trying to get you to do in the IUT Trilong group is for you to think about your experiences and to think, in terms of your best experiences, what went right? What made it go right? It's easy to say, oh, this was brilliant and that was brilliant and that was brilliant, but what made it so? And what can we learn from that? Same goes for worst experiences. What makes a bad experience? Where does it go wrong? You have a surly waiter in a restaurant, etc. Is it just that person having an off day? Or should that person never have been recruited? Should that person have been better trained? Should that person actually being watched in the restaurant in terms of what they're doing and monitored and talked to by somebody who should be in charge of them? There's a whole load of depths here. There's the symptoms on the surface. There's the obvious causes, poor training. But who's at fault for the poor training? Is it the senior manager who doesn't see the importance of training? Is it that the trainers aren't good enough? Is it that not all trainees are actually put through a decent training program? Is it that the company doesn't see the need for a training program because, of course, everybody knows how to treat other people now, don't they? Well, yes, right. Okay, so let's go through this from the beginning. First of all, here's a reference for you. Pine and Gilmore in the 1980s and 1990s made a name for themselves talking about the experience economy. And in fact, unless you're selling something like a tyre to go on a car, quite often what you're selling is something that gives a client an experience of something that they want to feel better about, that they want to remember, that they want to have fun with, that they want to enjoy, that they want to learn from. And what Pine and Gilmore was saying is managers have to get used to the fact that in many cases they're not just putting something on the shelf for somebody to pick up, take home, and put in the fridge. Actually, they're creating a whole experience of which that product may well be just a small part. So they have to get used to this fact and perhaps understand that they're not in control. Managers don't like that. They don't like hearing it. They don't like thinking about it. They would like to believe that they're in control of everything, but clearly they're not. The nearest analogy I can give you is that they are stage managers. They are operating in a theatre with a theatre performance that has actors, has funny gags and lines, has drama, has usherettes to show you to your seat, has Kia Ora and ice cream at the intermission. There are a whole load of things of which that experience is made up, but it is not the company's experience. It's the customer's experience, the client's experience. They are not handed that on a plate. Here is your experience, sir. Please consume it. We hope you'll be happy with it. That doesn't exist. What happens is that individuals derive their experience. They take from all these elements that are being put on the stage something positive, something negative, something excellent, something poor, something abysmal. They combine all those things together And you know what it's like. You've done this at a restaurant, you've gone out for a meal, and you've come back chatting in the car after it all, and you've all had different opinions, or you've all agreed it was awful. The food was great, but the overall experience was terrible. So business people, managers, have to get used to the fact that they are not fully in control. They're making it possible for somebody to have a good experience or a not so good experience. So let's just take one of those things. I've asked you to look at them. Let's take this. Imagine it's a restaurant. Imagine it's somebody's birthday. Imagine 2 or 3 months ago, you planned to go out for a special meal with your sweetheart to celebrate a birthday or an anniversary. Terrific. You look around, you find some wonderful place to go that you've never been before. You look at the website, your expectations are high. You book. How long did you have to wait for the phone to be answered? Was somebody being rushed? You're beginning to get an impression of the place, not just from the photographs, etc. Then let's say you set out. You've not been there before. You have an old car. You don't have a GPS in it. So you're following the signs. And you follow the sign from the motorway and you come to a junction and there is no sign for the restaurant or for the little village where the restaurant is located. You get to a junction and there is a sign, so you follow the sign, and then you get to another junction and there isn't a sign. You arrive half an hour late for your own anniversary meal. By then the restaurant's quite full, it's in winter, it's dark, it's raining. You're at the back end of the car park. You're off the end of the tar macadam. You are actually in a gravel car park with lots of puddles in it, and your sweetheart gets out in a beautiful long dress and sticks her heel right down into a deep puddle and trails her dress through it, and is squelching all the way towards the restaurant. It's not starting well, is it? At the far end, of course, we've got another problem. There's no lighting. The lighting's in the central car park. You can't see where you're going. You turn your ankle, you turn your heel. By the time you get to the restaurant, it's busy. You open the door, virtually all the tables are full, apart from the rather unattractive table on the wall between the toilets and the entrance to the kitchen. You are seeing waiters going past you in both directions. No one even acknowledges that you happen to be there. You ordered this, you reserved this months ago. And all of a sudden you just don't exist on your special day. You get shown eventually to the table and then left. Nobody brings you a menu to look at. Nobody asks you if you want an aperitif. It takes ages for somebody to turn up for the aperitif. They don't even bring you the menu while you're waiting for the aperitif to arrive. The aperitif takes ages to arrive. Finally, you enjoy it. You ask questions about the menu. The servers doesn't seem actually to know what the answer to those questions are at all. So way before you get to the meal, your experience is not being good. You may have an absolutely fabulously cooked steak, a wonderfully cooked homard. Terrific, that's wonderful. And then you ask for the bill and it doesn't come. And you ask for the bill again and it doesn't come. Other people are receiving nice little digestif at the end of the meal, compliments of the chef. They seem to have forgotten you. You then have to go and queue up at the till to be able to pay rather than having something actually brought to you. Nobody asks you how your meal has been. Look, I'm going on. You can fill in all the gaps to this. The point is, what you've discovered is that a meal is not just the food. In fact, ironically, the food plays a very, very small part in it. Lots of restaurants get this wrong. Why? Because restaurants are mainly owned by chefs, and chefs are particularly interested in the cuisine, the kitchen, the ingredients, the recipes, their signature dish, controlling things in their kitchen, etc., and making sure whatever leaves the kitchen is perfect or as near to it before it goes to be put on the table in front of a guest. The rest of it, for some people, can go hang. Thankfully, not everybody's like that. But sometimes it is. So Where does it go wrong? Vision. Is there a manager that has a vision of the fact that people are there for an experience? People want to enjoy things, and that atmosphere, music, noise from the kitchen, overcrowding by cramming in extra tables, waiting ages for somebody to show their face, poorly trained staff, etc. Those things have a massive impact on the enjoyment of the food, the experience, and the repeat visit. You know the old saying that, of course, if you have a good experience, you tell 4 or 5 people. If you have a bad experience, you tell 20. And that is the case. So what I was trying to do with this Kolmarko exercise for you was to get you to think, using yourself as an acid test, what went right and what went wrong in the experiences that you had, and can you trace it back to something? Is it to do with recruiting the wrong people, not just catching the waiter on an off day? Waiters should not have off days. They're there, they're paid, and they are there to make you happy, not just to put something in front of you on a plate. Where's the training? Where's the recruitment? Have they actually identified the type of people that they want to recruit? Are they actually able to do interviews that can identify those characteristics that they want and recruit people? So is it human resource management? Is it somebody who takes pride in their own business, who is visible and looking and talking and feeling the vibes in the room? You need to go a lot further than some of you actually did. You identified the things that went well, but you didn't really get to the principles of why they went well. Same goes for things that didn't go so well. Why didn't they go as well as they should have done? What's the root cause of that? Okay, staff are stressed. Why? Is that a matter of rostering? Is it a matter of not having enough staff? Is it a matter of not paying enough staff to get really good and competent and efficient staff? You need to drill down a lot further than just saying there was a problem, this should have been done, but to get to not just the causes, but the root cause of all that. Okay, so once again, remind you of those names, Pine and Gilmore. Okay, it's written in English, but I guess it's probably been translated quite a lot now. Have a look at their work and start thinking about the experiences that you have had. An anecdote. Now, my wife was expecting a delivery today. She'd been told there would be a delivery today, which she was supposed to sign for. I have been in front of the window, right outside the postbox and right outside the front door, and nothing has been delivered. Certainly that we can see, nobody's stopped, nobody's knocked, nobody's rung. According to her internet account from the deliverer, something was delivered at 10:45. Well, it wasn't. It was supposed to have signed for. It wasn't. It was left in a safe place, apparently. But they don't say where that was. And if it arrived in a parcel form, today is an awful lot. Sorry, today is the day which our yellow bins get collected, and we had a whole pile of carton out there. So has it been delivered and just slung next to the bins at the top of our steps here? The point is, my wife had chosen, after a lot of trouble, the thing that she wanted. It was due to be delivered today, and at the last inch of that service, it all went wrong. And it got worse when she rang up. People who were incompetent, who couldn't understand, who wouldn't understand, who were unable to give her any idea of how she should actually try to find out where this small package is that she's been waiting for. Someone should be looking at that process, but trust me, having listened to the 2 phone calls that Ellen has made, no one is interested in that. Here's another thing for you. Complaints. Think about this. Most companies treat complaints as things to be got rid of for the minimum cost, and they treat claimants as time-wasting, annoying people just to be got rid of with the minimum of fuss and time expended and the minimum of money, of course. But if you think about it a different way, what is somebody who complains doing? They're actually telling you you have a customer service quality assurance problem. They're telling you exactly what it is. They're telling you exactly where it's gone wrong. And they're suggesting what you could and should do about it. If companies are sensible, they should consider this as part of their quality assurance service. The vast majority don't. We have an awful lot to learn about service and service quality. So the next time you have some really good service, get to the root cause of it. What is it, or who is it that's making it brilliant? Likewise, if it's really, really bad, drill down and find out what the title is on their office door. Someone who's not doing their job. Okay? It's important. Why? Well, you'll be working for some of these companies. And I would really like to think that you, at least, know what you're doing to satisfy your customers. Okay, there we go. This far's long enough. Thank you very much. Obviously, it goes without saying, you have my wishes, the best wishes of all of our family, for a safe and a healthy future in this difficult time. Keep your head down. Stay healthy. Okay? Right. Bye for now. Cheers.